Well, welcome back to a special episode of the Projex Academy podcast. Here we are, episode 3. Dave's been hard at work creating this, the new PRINCE2 Masterclass. Our existing PRINCE2 Masterclass was based on the 6th edition, I think released in 2017. And this is the first major revamp. Here we are in 2024, and PRINCE2 7th edition is born. This is lesson 1, module 1. It's around 15 minutes, and it's an overview of PRINCE2. So, I thought it'd be a good idea to share this in podcast format. I will remove my big, ugly talking head and leave you in the capable teaching hands of Dave Litton, PRINCE2 project manager extraordinaire, while he presents Module 1, Lesson 1 of the PRINCE2 7th edition Masterclass. Enjoy.
Hi there, my name is Dave Litton from the Projex Academy, and this is our brand new PRINCE2 7th edition Masterclass. And I'm pleased to say I will be your tutor throughout the Masterclass. I have split the Masterclass into several modules, this of course being Module 1, and each module split into several lessons. This of course is Lesson 1, and as you might expect for the first lesson, I've named it the PRINCE2 Overview. As it happens in Module 1, there are 9 video lessons for you to watch and absorb. So lots to do in this first lesson, so let's roll our sleeves up and get stuck straight in. So, what is included in Projex Academy's PRINCE2 Masterclass? I'm glad you asked. Well, you'll be getting over 120 streaming videos teaching you in easy-to-absorb, bite-sized chunks. They're all streaming MP4 videos, and they've been designed to be around 20 minutes in length. Many will be much shorter, and 1 or 2 will be longer. But I know from many years of experience that 20 minutes is a great duration, enough to engage your attention and allow you to absorb the information. In addition, you'll be getting 18 accompanying handbooks. Each one, looking something like this, will include graphics of every single slide used within that module's videos. It'll also have something like 30 to 40 workshop exercises. The objective here is for you to check that you've understood everything within the accompanying videos. I'll also be giving you a small sample of both foundation and practitioner exam questions with answers and rationale, so you'll be not only learning as you go, but also gaining a bit of practice at those exam answering skills. You'll also be getting a full PRINCE2 7th edition Foundation and Practitioner syllabus and learning objectives. So as you go through each of these modules, you'll be able to see exactly what the learning outcomes should be. If you happen to have studied the previous edition of PRINCE2, the 6th edition, which was released back in 2017, you'll find that in the main there are lots of similarities, but also be quite clear there are entirely new topics you'll need to learn here, and some of the existing parts of PRINCE2 have been given important changes, all for the better, I might add. And finally, in our PRINCE2 7th edition Masterclass, you'll be getting 2 official sample papers along with the rationale for both foundation and practitioner exams. So that's 2 foundation sample papers and 2 practitioner sample papers. Be clear, these are obviously not the live ones, but they'll give you that all-important practice at the techniques needed to tackle exam questions. So let me share with you the objectives of our PRINCE2 7th edition Masterclass. Indeed, they're the outcomes you'll gain. First, you'll be able to demonstrate a wider appreciation of PRINCE2 skills and know-how. You'll be able to apply those skills within a realistic context of a typical project scenario. You'll be able to efficiently navigate the PRINCE2 7 book. That's the official manual, of course, often called the PRINCE2 Guide. You'll be able to tailor best practice in response to differing project circumstances. Yes, you'll be looking at various scenarios and learning how they might need to be tailored. You'll be able to analyse information and reason whether a course of action is effective or appropriate in accordance with PRINCE2 best practice. And probably most important of all, you'll be able to complete the PRINCE2 Foundation and Practitioner exams, and by that I mean you'll pass them. And looking to the future, you'll be able to begin to apply the PRINCE2 method to your own projects back in the workplace. So here's what the structure of Projex Academy's PRINCE2 Masterclass is. It's been split into 6 parts, which will help you to pace your study and preparation. Each part is split into several modules, and although not shown on this slide, within each module you'll have several lessons. So here's PRINCE2 Module 1, which is the overview. We'll be looking at principles next in Module 2, and then at one of the new sections, all on people. I don't intend to go through all these parts right now, they're fairly self-evident, and at the end of every module I'll be reintroducing this slide to help you see the progress you're making. Each module contains several video-based lessons, at least a handful and often more than that, and as you know, each module has an accompanying handbook, which if you prefer, you can download. So what about you? What benefits has PRINCE2 got to you? As you're about to embark on a serious study of the PRINCE2 method, it's important you understand that you will gain a globally recognised certification. Having taught PRINCE2 since way back in 1997 and travelled most of the main countries in the world to deliver it, I can tell you it really is a global certification. You'll be able to know how to start, manage the steps, and ultimately close a project in a structured manner. You'll learn common project management terminology, which will help you immensely when running your projects within, say, your organisation. You will clearly understand your role as a project manager and know how to structure a project right from the get-go. You'll be able to improve your career and remuneration prospects. I can vouch for that personally. And improve your standing within your organisation, as you will be seen as a competent professional project manager. So, let's just quickly go through this 7th edition. I'll just present some of the highlights about what exactly is different for the new edition. There's a new people chapter, which includes focusing on stakeholders, communication, interpersonal skills, leadership qualities, and fostering collaboration across the project organisation and key stakeholders. The 7th edition integrates principles of sustainability and ethical conduct. This is an example of a new practice that you will need to understand, because sustainability has been added to the existing 6 aspects of project performance and tolerances. Again, if you're familiar with the previous edition of PRINCE2, it had 6 aspects. It's now got 7 with the addition of sustainability. Those project performance tolerances, if you recall, were time, cost, quality, benefits, scope, risk, and now, of course, we have sustainability. And you'll also find better guidance on how PRINCE2 exemplifies the application of PRINCE2 tailoring. What used to be called the themes, there are 7 of those if you remember, they're now called practices and frankly represent best practice. They are now streamlined and far easier to digest. What used to be the change theme, as with all of the themes, they're now called practices. There's a new practice called the issues practice, since frankly the change theme was always about issues, so this is a far more sensible title, where within the issues practice you'll learn about things such as requests for change and off specifications and so on. Process activities, remember those? Within each process, they've had their diagram removed, and these are now a far easier to understand table with accompanying text. And the principles, still 7, they're now sharper and they offer more intuitive alignment with the current business landscape. And possibly as important as any new edition, Prince now works hand in hand with frameworks like Agile, Lean and ITIL. So continuing with our overview of the new PRINCE2 7th edition, you now need to know that there are 5 integrated elements. Here's the official manual, which you can get hard copy and soft copy. PRINCE2 is a project management method composed of 5 integrated elements. It's important you get to grips with these and remember them. For now, it's an overview. What are they? They're the principles, people, practices, processes, and project context. Let me just take you through that. Project context, I'm sure you'll remember that. It's the context within which the project is working, and that will obviously have a great bearing on how you use and tailor PRINCE2. The 7 processes, they're still the same, but as I say, they're now easier to grasp and understand and use. You've still got 7 principles, they haven't changed at all, and what used to be called themes are now called practices, and yes, you have 7. So it's really the focus on people. There's a complete new chapter within the PRINCE2 official manual on this aspect. Don't worry, you and I will be covering that in detail. Be aware when we talk about people, we're referring to those working on the project and those affected by the project. Now, the environment for a PRINCE2 project can, as you're probably aware, be tailored to any type of project, no matter its size, environment, how complex it is, how important the project is, what capabilities you need, or whether it's high or low risk. PRINCE2 can fit them all. So let me just take you through these 5 integrated elements with a little more detail. First of all, the PRINCE2 principles. The principles are the guiding obligations that determine whether the project is genuinely being managed using PRINCE2. Unless all 7 are applied, you are not running a PRINCE2 project. The people element. Projects need people, consisting of those working on the project and those affected by the project, as I've said. So an understanding of the needs, capabilities and motivations of the people involved, and importantly, the relationships between these people, is absolutely crucial to how the project is first of all established, going on to be successfully managed. This is why the 7th edition of PRINCE2 includes this important additions looking at people aspects. Then we come to the PRINCE2 practices. Again, those are still the 7. These, as you may know, are the essential aspects of project management applied consistently throughout the project lifecycle. Indeed, we'll be looking to see how these practices play their part from beginning to end of a typical project. These 7 practices explain the specific treatment required of that aspect of project management. Let's say the risk practice as an example. You'll learn all about how to apply and manage risk for that particular practice. And this will ensure that all 7 of the PRINCE2 processes will be effective, as well as you clearly understanding why they are necessary. The PRINCE2 processes, there's 7 of those still. These describe the entire project lifecycle, from activities before getting started, those are the activities in starting up a project, through the stages of project delivery, and to the final act of closing the project. Each process has a checklist of recommended activities and related responsibilities. Then we have project context. This is where the principles, practices and processes are applied by the people involved to ensure that the PRINCE2 method is fit and tailored, suitable for the context within which the project is being managed and delivered. So this might seem strange, me throwing up a slide called Causes of Project Failure. I've been singing the praises of PRINCE2, and it's important to know that managing projects is not a walk in the park. And on the pathway to ensuring project success, it's important that all stakeholders must understand why the project is needed, what the project must achieve, how the project is to be achieved, and what their individual and collective responsibilities are. However, out there in the real world, for folks who aren't using PRINCE2, here's some of the big areas which directly lead to project failure. I won't go through all of these, but you can see some of them right off the bat here. Not understanding the scope of the project, what's in, what's out, and what outcome is being sought, etc., etc. Unrealistic risk management, wrong estimation approach, lack of measurables for progress and control. The list goes on. I've picked out these 12 from experience I've had of the elements that can directly lead to project failure. However, do not get pessimistic, because thanks to PRINCE2 and its features and benefits, you'll understand exactly how to make sure your projects are successful. There are 7 areas I want to briefly cover here. The fact that PRINCE2 is a proven methodology, it can be applied universally, it's flexible as we know, it can be tailored easily, it has common language and concepts, it's outcome focused, in other words, with the focus on products during the project and how they're going to be used once the project transfers them to those who will use those products. In other words, we start off from the outset understanding exactly what the outcome is. Another benefit of PRINCE2 is increased organizational maturity. We're all speaking the same language and we all understand how to tailor our projects. And you'll see that PRINCE2 is part of an integrated suite of methods. Let's deal with those one by one. Proven. PRINCE2 is based on established and proven practice and governance for project management. Like I say, I've been teaching it since 1997, so I'm, as you might imagine, a big fan. PRINCE2 really does work. It's universal. It can be applied to any project of any scale, and it's easily implemented alongside industry-specific models. For example, special engineering models or development life cycles and so on, you'll find that PRINCE2 can dovetail in with such models or life cycles. PRINCE2 is flexible. It can be tailored to meet the specific needs of whatever organizations are involved. It has common language and concepts. PRINCE2 is widely recognized. As I said, I've delivered it across the world and provides a common vocabulary for all those participating. PRINCE2 encourages consistency and the ability to reuse project assets, be able to facilitate staff mobility, and reduce the impact of personnel changes or handovers. Yes, if everyone's speaking the same language and you part way through the project need to change your project team in some way, and this could simply be as you go through the various delivery stages of your project, each stage will need different people involved. Whatever the reason, you'll find that the new folks that join will understand PRINCE2 due to its common language and concepts. PRINCE2 is outcome focused. This ensures that project participants focus on the viability of the project in relation to its business case objectives, rather than just simply seeing the completion of the project as an end in itself. The project products are those that deliver your products or services, whatever your project is delivering, and it's those being passed into the operational area which will give you your outcome. And that outcome is fully understood right from the start, so that therefore you ensure that stakeholders, including your sponsors and resource providers, are properly represented in all planning and decision making. PRINCE2 offers you increased organisational maturity. What do we mean here? Well, it promotes learning from project experience and continual improvement within organisations. It's also part of an integrated suite of methods, and since we at Projex Academy are an accredited training organisation, which we did through PeopleCert, I can confidently tell you that PRINCE2 is designed to work with other PeopleCert guides on programme management and risk management. Well, there's a great place to stop. It's been quite a detailed lesson one, I'm sure you'll agree, but at least this has given you the basic overview and understanding of how we're going to proceed. So thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. From me, Dave at Projex Academy, I look forward to your company again in lesson 2. Meanwhile, from me, it's bye for now.